My name's Adrian, I'm an alcoholic. It's a great day to be sober. And I had a fair bout of drinking in my early days. Started at the age of 13 and got into a lot of strife and DUIs and stuff even. And at the age of 28 I had my first look at AA to try and get my wife, 2 lovely children and my house back. And everything failed, and at the age of 29 I got divorce papers and I just threw everything in. I went back to drinking and that was it. And from 1979 when that started again, I'd been going to meetings up in Sydney with 2 brothers, and I knew I was going to drink, so I got out of Sydney and finished up working on the Nullarbor on the railways, and plenty of drink out there, and I just kept going, and till the age of, I was 34 then, when I was out there, and I went over to 1981. I went over to Tassie with one of my workmates from the line, and I met his sister over there. Have been together ever since. And she come over to Port Augusta in 82 and we got a house. And in February of 82 I told her I was going back to AA. So that's what I did, and the 3rd of March in 82. And I've had a great life since then, 1983, January, me and that lady got married, a couple more children and stuff like that. Today I have plenty of grandchildren, 4 great-grandchildren. But the main thing, I have in my life is my sobriety, the fellowship, and you people at the meetings, and life today is a good thing. I've had a few dramas in my sobriety with health-wise and stuff like that, and lost my licence because of it, and had to sell a nice, car, and nice caravan, all that sort of thing. Had to go. Me and my wife, we used to love travelling, and that all had to go by the wayside. After I got sober in 82, I started at Port Augusta and then to Clare, and then went from Clare, we went to Queensland, and I done meetings up there too, and I went back to one town where I'd done meetings before, Albury, because I left Melbourne to go to Albury, and went to AA there for a while and went stupid there, but I went back there when I was sober and done meetings again and everything, and it was good. But we moved from a place up near Albury to come over to Adelaide, and we're over in Adelaide here, and then we finished up. We moved over to Tasmania for 9 years. I've done meetings over in Tassie, and it was good. I finished up secretary of one group over there at Sandy Bay, and and life's been good. I still got a mate over in Tassie that I keep in touch with, and I've got a cousin in a fellowship that I keep in touch with. He's in Canberra, and all little things like that are all good. And it's good these days I can come home and the family likes to have me home. Not what it was like in my first marriage, because never knew what state I was going to get home in, or a lot of times didn't know when, and it's not like that anymore. But But I don't get to go out much now. The only thing I sort of get to go to now is the meetings, you know, and they're a very fortunate thing in my life, you know. I've got no wish to ever go back the way I was, you know. There's no interest in it, you know. All I'd love to do today is see the children happy and the wife happy, you know, and I know what I'd go the other way, because, you know, it was like in my first marriage, you know, once I had the beer in me, I didn't care about the wife or the kids or anything. I just wanted more alcohol and disappear all the time and stuff like that. You know, I don't know how she put up for as long as she did, you know. I was 21 when I got married, and I was 28 when it all folded up. And you know, I blamed her for everything at the time, but look on it today, and I know whose fault. You know, it wasn't any of her fault. You know, probably got herself out of the house for her own sanity and the sake of the children, you know. And today those children are in touch with me again, and it's good, you know, and even she'll speak to me now, so things haven't been too bad, and I've had a little bit of drama lately, like a young niece that used to keep in touch with me, and because her dad, which was my brother, he was 39 years sober in AA before he died, and so was another brother. But the niece that kept in touch with me, I rang up to see how she was, and her husband answered the phone, and she died in August and buried on the 1st of September, and I knew nothing about it. But they'd been trying to catch me, but they couldn't find my phone number. And that's something that hit me pretty hard, because on a couple of days before I found out that news on the phone, I was down where my brother-in-law got buried, and he's a top bloke, he was. And, but, you know, they say life goes on, but, you know, I can look back on something that happened to me, you know, 5 years ago. I was in the Royal Hobart Hospital in Tasmania, getting blood, you know, drawn straight off my brain, and I was in a coma for 10 days. But luckily enough, I come out of that coma, and I'm still here today. And it doesn't matter where I sort of travel in life, you know. I make sure where the AA meetings are, so I'm there. I knew there was plenty of AA over here when I come back from Tassie. And the main reason I come back over from Tassie, my wife was in hospital and got over here, and she was having a quadruple bypass. And like I told her, she had to go one better. I had a triple about 10 years ago, and since then, you know, I've had other little dramas, bloody cancer, and luckily enough now I'm in bloody 4 years remission with it. Still doing something I know I shouldn't be. I'm still having a smoke. And, you know, that's life, you know, and today I've had a real good day. Because my granddaughter turned up with me 3 great-grandchildren, you know, and it was lovely to see them, and a lovely day, you know, and I get that all the time, family dropping in and everything, and it, you know, it never used to sort of happen, and got a lot of things to thank, you know, and but you know, with my 2 brothers, that they done a bit of sponsor work with me too, you know, and get the steps off the wall. You know, don't let them sit up there where you read them. Get them off the wall and put them in your life. And that's what I've had to do, you know. And I know one drinks too many, 100's not enough, but you know, I know I'm powerless over the bloody stuff, so you know, leave it alone. Because all it does is bring me griefs and problems, and you know, I don't want that anymore. You know, I quite like the life I have today. You know, friends I've got in AA, and I still have a lot of friends out of AA too, and you know, it's something, you know. I go away for about 12 months. When I first went over to Tasmania, in that 12 months I bloody went crazy, and but luckily enough in that 12 months I didn't pick up a drink, and it was good. It was sort of through my wife that got me back. She's sitting there reading the paper one Wednesday. She said, it wouldn't hurt you to go here tonight. And I, what about tonight? And she showed me in the paper, because they advertise their meetings over there in the daily paper, and that was a meeting at Sandy Bay. So I went there that night, and I haven't stopped meeting since, you know, and it's been good, and it was a good meeting, and to me they're all good meetings, you know. I haven't sort of been to a bad meeting or a meeting I wouldn't go back to. I gave up one meeting because I heard, you know, no, I didn't sort of hear anything. I just sort of give it away, and you know, there's plenty around. There's plenty to go to. There's plenty of choices, and I'm very lucky in a lot of respects with having no licence. You know, I've got friends that pick me up and take me and you know, bring me home. So you know, it's good. It's a great fellowship, and the greatest thing I've ever joined, I think. You know, I used to love me football clubs and cricket clubs and all that, but and even when I was back with the football clubs, because I used to like drinking at the footy clubs, but I got back into the football clubs when we went over to Tasmania, because my son that still lives over there, he was playing then, or still is, and I got in there and I done a course as a trainer, and become a trainer for the club, and it was good, you know. Go to the footy every Saturday, and no drinking, you know. And it was funny, like my son, he'd probably have a can after the game in the room, and he'd throw his keys at me. You were driving home, Dad. What? He said, no, I've got alcohol on my breath. I'm not getting behind the wheel. And that's the way he's always been, you know. And yeah. He has the drinks, but he probably has about 4 cans and that's it. No, that's enough. Never for me. I know one time he come over for a holiday over here from Tassie. I walked out one morning up past 10, he had a can of Jack Daniels on the table. I thought, oh, here we go. 11 o'clock that night. See you in the morning, Dad, have a good sleep. And he was having his 4th can. That was never me. Those 4 cans were bang, 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 and that was the way it was. And I could never ever really get enough. I used to like the old grappa too. A mate of mine in Melbourne, his father used to brew it. We used to get down there on it, and I used to love my old McWilliams Royal Reserve port. And I like the Bundy OP rum as well and stuff like that, you know. I love me beer too. Anything that was alcohol, really, it didn't matter what it was, you know. I'd have a go at anything. I even had to go at the old methylated spirits for a little while. And, just no care for nothing or nobody, and that was the way life went. And I'm very happy today that I don't have to worry about that part of life. You know, I'm here today. I'm happy. I got a good family and stuff I couldn't wish any more for. Got little regrets like not having me licence anymore and having to sell stuff. But one thing it's taught me is the acceptance. Got to accept things, and love to change the way of it, but it won't happen because the reports that the hospital put into the registration department, they're never going to let me have it back because, 10 wild strokes and stuff like that, and heart operation and all that sort of stuff. And I can understand them not wanting me to have a stroke at the wheel or anything like that. And so, accept life on life's terms. That's the point, and the wisdom to know the difference. Well, the wisdom to know the difference to me is if I go back that other way, I've lost everything, and it wouldn't be because I'd lose everything. I'd lose myself, and I'm quite happy today with the person I've turned out, Don't cause anyone any drama anymore, and take life as it comes, and it's the easiest way to go, and nothing's ever going to be a bed of roses. There's still little things, but, it's learning to handle them to the best of my ability. And that's what I do, and I cannot speak highly enough of AA and the fellowship. Higher power. That's what all comes through, a lot of work over a lot of years. But those, all of that time I've had in days and weeks and years has all been one day at a time. That's the way I'll keep carrying on. Day at a time and life on life's terms. And just keep coming back, back to meetings. I've got no wish to ever stop meetings. I'm very glad that it's given me a life today that I cherish. And through some of the health problems I have, I really cherish that I am here, Stuff that happened over in Tassie, like comas. When I was in the coma, they didn't think I was going to pull through. And that was 5 years ago. I come out of it and I'm still here. And I'll just keep coming back. To me, it's the only place for me to be. An hour and a half of your time you've got to give up. But look at the best lot of time you can gain from it. That's what I look for, and great fellowship, great people. I've got friends in New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania, Western Australia, over here. The only state I haven't done an AA meeting in, which I'd have loved to do, is the Northern Territory, but I've never been out there. And I'll just, I'm here now, and just, life couldn't be any better for me, not every day's perfect. I still have me little get-ups, and I can accept them today, and I'll just keep coming back to AA. Thank you.